All right, so we're diving into something a little different today. It's not a sprawling document or a leaked audio file, but a single web page.
Okay.
Just one.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it's called Videolander. Like, that's the title. And it's interesting to say the
A
least.
single page, huh?
Yeah, super minimal, like barely any text at all. But what's there is definitely trying to get your attention. Big, bold promises about finding, the perfect online job. All you got to do is take this quick quiz and bam, dream job. Right.
Sounds a little too good to be true.
Right. And get this, it mentions a video, like
Mm.
watch the video below, but there's no video. It's just not there.
Interesting. So we've got bold claims, a missing video, and a web page called Videolander. What are we thinking? What's the mission for this deep dive? What are we trying to uncover?
I think the big question here is, why does this page even exist? Like, what's the purpose if the quiz doesn't even work? I mean, does this tell us something about, like, the whole world of online opportunity and, maybe how people are trying to, I don't know, maybe exploit that or something?
Right. Well, what's immediately apparent is how this page uses, those classic psychological triggers to draw you in. It dangles this idea of like instant gratification, find your dream job in under 5 minutes. Who wouldn't want that?
Right. It's like playing on our desire for easy solutions.
Exactly. And it also kind of taps into that fear of missing out. Everyone else is supposedly finding these amazing opportunities online and you're being left behind.
Oh, yeah, totally. I felt a little bit of that pull myself when I first saw it. It's like, oh, man, am I missing out on something here?
That's exactly what they're hoping for.
So, okay, let's talk about this quiz.
Yeah.
I mean, it asks some pretty basic questions, right? Like desired income, what device you use, internet access, even your social media habits. Harmless enough on the surface, but
But there's always a but. What happens when you actually take the quiz?
no results found every single time. No matter how you answer those questions, it always comes up empty.
And that's where the alarm bells should start ringing. Because those questions, while seemingly innocent, might actually be cleverly designed to gather data. Valuable data about user preferences, online behavior, you name it.
You mean they're not even trying to match you with a job? They're just mining information.
That's a very real possibility. Think about it. This kind of information is gold for targeted advertising, creating those super detailed user profiles, and, let's be honest, potentially even identifying vulnerable individuals for scams.
Wow, I hadn't even thought about the scam angle. But you're right, this could be a textbook case of lead generation. Get people hooked with the promise of a dream job, and then
And then, boom, you've got their contact info, email address, phone number, maybe even more, and they can use that information for whatever purpose they have in mind.
it's also surface level,
Uh,
Nothing concrete, just vague promises in that missing video.
That's the point. It's all smoke and mirrors, designed to keep you clicking, keep you engaged, and ultimately get you to hand over your personal information. They don't want to give you anything real, because the real goal is your data.
And don't forget that tiny little earnings disclaimer link tucked away at the bottom of the page.
Oh yeah, that's classic. Almost like a little legal fig leaf, trying to give the whole thing a veneer of legitimacy. But let's be real, we have absolutely no idea what's actually going on behind the scenes.
It's like they're trying to say, hey, we're being transparent while simultaneously being completely opaque.
Right. It's a bit of a contradiction, but you see this kind of tactic all the time online. It's all about creating a sense of trust, even when the underlying offer is questionable at best. And, this Videolander page, while kind of unique in its presentation, it does reveal a larger truth about navigating the online world in general.
Okay, so break it down for us. What's the big takeaway here?
We are constantly bombarded with these persuasive design tactics, what some people call dark patterns. They're specifically crafted to manipulate our behavior, to lead us down a certain path, whether it's clicking on an ad, signing up for a service, or, in this case, giving up your contact information for the promise of a dream job. It's all about nudging us towards a specific action, often without us even realizing it.
So how do we protect ourselves? I mean, it feels like we're swimming in a sea of these tactics.
It's all about being aware, right? Question everything. Be skeptical, especially when something seems too good to be true. Like a dream job that takes 5 minutes to find. Come on. Do your research, look for red flags, and for goodness sake, don't hand over your personal information unless you're absolutely sure you know what you're getting into. Remember, in the online world, a healthy dose of skepticism is your best friend.
Words to live by, really. So to our listeners out there, remember, always be on the lookout for these subtle cues and manipulative techniques. Don't fall for those promises that seem too good to be true. Do your research before you share anything personal. And remember, a healthy dose of skepticism is your best friend when you're navigating the wilds of the internet.
Absolutely. And, something to think about. What other tactics do you think are used to capture attention and persuade people online? There are so many out there, and it's always evolving. So stay vigilant, stay informed, and keep those critical thinking skills sharp.